You decided to host a networking event and you want to think, how do I make it successful? How do I have people that want to be there? And so we're going to cover today that idea of how do I host a networking event. Now, this could be virtual or this could be in person. Could go either way. But I'm mainly focused today on the virtual because that's the topic, though no, it applies. And in the conversation, we're going to talk about before the event even starts, what do we need to do? Then we're going to talk about creating connections. We're going to cover how to make it fun, because to me, we can go to lots and lots of networking events. If they're not fun, do we really want to be there? Will we go back? So we have to find a way to make it engaging. And so maybe it's not like a comedy show fun, but it's at least a little fun. And then after the event, what do we do? So we've got to make sure that people are able to create those connections. So as we start, so before the event even starts, things that we want to keep in mind is, okay, who are the people that we want to invite? What's the audience that we want to have in our online networking event? And we want to let the people know, here's what you're going to get out of it. Is it open for all to join? Is it going to be a lot of breakout rooms? Do you have 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds to talk about your business? It's nice. You don't have to give them like a step-by-step agenda, but give them some of the details, give them some of the overviews. And then what we want to do is once we have people signing up, I do encourage you to have some way to have people signing up. Now, sometimes people are like, well, I created a Facebook event. I also like to get their emails because then you can send reminders. With everything that people have going on nowadays, those reminders are crucial to getting the people that said they want to attend the online event to actually get there. So we want to make sure we're ready to go before the event. When it comes to networking, my goal with networking, and I talk about this in the 4.5 networking mistakes, is to book a meeting from a meeting. It's to create the connection. So you want to think about, as you're the host or hostess of this online networking event, how are you going to create connections for people? How are they going to have the opportunity to communicate, to follow up afterwards? And we'll talk a little bit more about that before we're done here today. But we want to think about, okay, how are the ways that we can do the connecting? How do we let that happen? Back in the day, we had business cards, but we don't anymore. Now, I think the main thing that we're here, it's how do we make it fun? So the human mind really doesn't like to have monotony. I've read, and I don't remember where, that every 4 minutes you want to change it up. So if you have somebody that's doing a presentation during the networking event, you want to be careful that it's not too long and people will zone out. And nowadays on Zoom, it's probably even more, especially when we can pick up these lovely electronic devices and be like, oh, yeah. So we want to make sure that we keep it engaging. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can do polls. Now on Zoom, there's a poll feature. I also use an app called Mentimeter, and it gives you the opportunity to ask not only polls, though there's other things that you can do with it as well. You can create word clouds. You can, get a temperature from the people in the room, like literally, is it too hot or too cold if you wanted. You can do a quiz and people get points. And I actually found Mentimeter prior to the virtual world happening so often. And I was using it in person, and it's a great way to interact with people in the audience, get their information. They can put their stuff up on the screen. You can do like a Q&A section. There's a ton there. So mentimeter.com is the website, and people are able to go on their phones and vote. Or you can use the polling feature that they have there in the Zoom. Another thing that you can do is utilizing the chat box. Now, you don't want to have the chat box going too crazy depending on the event, but you do have the opportunity for direct and private messages if that setting is set up. And so it does give you a way to communicate with people. Also, I think the reactions can be really fun. And so I noticed with the reactions just the other day that instead of the standard 6 that they had, you've got like hundreds to choose from now. So there's lots more emojis that you can utilize to use the reactions. So if you're doing something, you can say, okay, everybody that likes this, give me a yes or give me a no, give me a thumbs up, however you would like to do it. I've seen some people that have had a lot of fun with themed networking events. So I did one with the Working Women of Tampa Bay, and it was like, have a fun coffee mug. So I had my Yoda mug is one of my mugs. There was another networking event, Phil, that's on here. He's chatting on, and he just shared, great tip on the reminder. So many people want to come but forget they scheduled. But Phil, I saw on LinkedIn, he was talking about a networking event that he did with people, and they brought their dogs. I mean, we all know that our dogs are like chilling, hanging out, probably being annoying. So could you bring your pets or your kids? That may work better or worse. Could you have everybody wear the same color so it's fun on the screen? Do something silly with your virtual backgrounds. I mean, there's so many opportunities to make it fun. We just take advantage of it. There's one that I haven't done yet, but I've heard it's going to be a gardening where you bring, one of your favorite plants. Now, I happen to keep a couple. I've got a Star Wars theme going on here because this is my little baby Yoda with my succulents. It was a gift from Chara. Thanks, Chara. Appreciate it. So you can show off your plants. So you could pick a theme to make it a little bit more fun. And I think breakout rooms can be really powerful when used correctly. And so could it be that we all get 10 minutes together, everybody share every 2 minutes? Could it be that we're one-on-one and so we get to connect in that way? I've done some really great speed networking events. I do like the opportunity where we get to meet everyone, though it doesn't give you as much details. If there's 500 people at an event, there's no way you're going to get through 500 people. So you get the smaller breakout rooms to make that happen. And so you can certainly use those options. Now, if you're hosting an event, one of the games that I like to play is called Magic 8 Ball. And you put people into a breakout room, how many, works. And they have 2 minutes to shake it up and see what they have in common. To me, it's a great icebreaker. It's a little bit of fun. Sometimes even when I'm hosting programs or workshops, I'll use the opportunity to throw in a little Magic 8 Ball just to get a change. We're shaking it up. Plus, people get to know really weird and crazy things. I mean, sometimes it's obvious, like, oh, we're all wearing glasses. Like, seriously, can we go a little deeper? And one time it was like we've all lived in Texas. I was like, all right, Texas it is. So let's think about how can we have a little bit of fun. Now, after the networking event, see, our goal is to help people have a successful meeting and to, hit that goal of booking the meeting from the meeting. So as the hostess of the event, are you going to be sharing everybody's contact information? Or is everybody going to putting the contact information in the chat box and you need to remind them before they drop off the call to save the chat? Or do you save the chat and send it out to everybody? You want to give some thought to how are we going to help people make that connection, because we don't have the business cards anymore. When we're virtual, especially, we're not passing out cards, so we have to find a way to connect. And if I go to a networking event and it's fun, but I didn't make any connections, I didn't get the information, so I'm not able to follow up, then was it the best networking event that I went to? And to me, our goal is people go to our event and they're like, oh, this was really great. Can I go to the next one? Can I come to the next one? We want those people to be back there networking, meeting the people. So I'd love to hear from you. What have you seen in a successful online networking event? What has been powerful for you? What have you been able to create? Leave that in the comments below. And I thank you for spending this quick 10 minutes here with us as we talk all about how to host an online networking event. Thanks.